Jonathan Hickman and Mahmoud Asrar put together a new X-Men team as they head inside the Vault to determine if the mysterious children of the Vault are an immediate threat to Krakoa and to Mutantkind. Jonathan Hickman returns to the Vault he set up a number of issues ago, as well as picking up with a completely new X-Men team who have been sent on a more or less suicide mission. Hickman really is the master of the slow burn reveal, as at the beginning of the story you think it's just going to be a standard X-Men adventure with them doing some recon in a unknown place, but then slowly through Synch's narration it's revealed the true nature of the stories, and we realize why these 3 particular mutants were chosen, and it has all to do with memories and how their healing factor affects their minds processing them and storing them. There is also a sinister aspect to this, since now we know obviously on Krakoa, memories can be altered when people are reborn. So just to put my tinfoil hat on again, what is stopping Xavier from adding or subtracting from these memories and making the Vault seem more bad than it actually is, and making the mutants think that they have experienced something evil within that Vault, making them want to take it down? While obviously I don't think the story is going to go there, I like that Hickman has built up this different kind of Krakoa and different kind of X-Men lore that wouldn't make that out of place, and I like that I can think of that and think that it actually makes sense. That's really cool. Mahmoud Asrar's art again was really beautiful, and he continues to be one of my favourite newer X-Men artists. I really enjoyed how many of his pages and panels feature just standard gradient backgrounds behind everything, allowing for all of the focus to be put on the character and the action that is happening in that panel, which there was a lot of this issue and a lot of brutal and violent action, mainly thanks to Wolverine doing what she does best. X-Men issue 18 was another fun installment into Jonathan Hickman's grand tapestry of X-books. I thoroughly enjoyed that we got a look inside the Vault he set up what feels like years ago, as well as an interesting new X-team whose sole existence screams sinister ulterior motives that I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing explored later on in the book. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. X-Men issue 18 heads to the Vault in South America, where Synch, Wolverine and Darwin have successfully breached the Vault's security in a bid to learn what the threat level and potential weaknesses of the Vault are, and what lays within it and those of the children from it. The team happen upon a huge city as soon as they enter the Vault, signaling to them that the Vault is larger than they thought it was, and that at least 1 million people could live there. Synch reminds Darwin that they are there to learn all about this, and it has been thought that the children of the Vault engage in a strict population control, and through his scanning he can detect that the city is barely populated. Darwin confirms his teammates' theories, thinking that they can do this without getting caught, but Wolverine knows if they keep talking, they'll get caught. Darwin doesn't know how to feel about Wolverine, but soon begins to feel pretty good about the woman. The team move towards an elevator as Synch knows he's more of a backup to the other 2 members, and hopefully no fighting will happen, and they will be gone in a day or a week at most. The team move down the elevator as elsewhere in the city, the dome scans for contagions on a new child, welcoming the child into the city. Suddenly, the dome says the mission is a failure and scans again, finding an increased threat activity in the human population, as well as an increased threat from mutants. The dome comes to the conclusion that the Vault will not be opened, and a child of level 3 intelligence is needed for subjugation. The dome upgrades the child as it says the mutants have grown into something greater than they can ever hope to beat, so they need to become more. The rest of the Dome's team know that they are about to be put back in the pot thanks to being too weak, as the Dome alerts them to a breach, finding it to be contaminated. The AI cannot determine the threat level, instead sending the team out to protect the city. The X-Men meanwhile reach the end of the elevator ride, only to be confronted by the Dome's team, who burn down the elevator. Some of the team members are impressed that there were no screams or anything, but one knows they must have gotten off elsewhere. Suddenly, Wolverine jumps down on one of the villains, and Laura manages to gut her as Darwin and Synch come to back her up, quickly battling the other team members. Darwin is burned by the flaming skull villain, so Laura stabs him in the face, grabbing Darwin so he can use her powers to heal. Synch meanwhile adapts to a ball of water being put over his head, growing gills that shock the villains, who don't know what to do now. Darwin meanwhile somehow takes the flaming villain's powers, surprising Laura since she didn't think that he could copy anyone's powers except for mutants. He knows things have changed as he kills 2 of the other villains, obliterating them with a fire and leaving one of the female ones left alive. She says that they are going to pay for what they have done, as Darwin can see the woman is about to explode, pulling Laura back, but the woman says as she continues to build up her energy that the mutants cannot run from this, and if they do, it's not going to matter since they cannot outrun the future. Synch remembers that their mission was to remember what they saw inside the vault, keeping that stored within their memory and report back, but they did their best, and on day 1 they entered the vault and no one has any idea what it took for them to get out. The woman explodes in a giant fireball, taking the mutants and the entire city with her in a blinding green light.